Anita Scott here with the Texas Homeschool Coalition. If you're a homeschooling family in Texas, it's likely you've been talking about or you've been hearing people talk about the Education Savings Account or ESAs. What are they? How do they work? And what do they mean for homeschoolers? Well, I hope to break it all down in simple terms and let you know how you can stay informed and involved as this new ESA program rolls out in Texas. First, let's be clear about what an ESA program is and if a voucher is the same as an ESA. A voucher is a payment the government gives directly to a private school to cover tuition. On the other hand, an ESA, or an Education Savings Account, allows parents of private and homeschool students to redirect public education funds to pay for qualified educational expenses such as tutoring, textbooks, therapies, dual credit enrollment, and other educational expenses. Second, let's talk about who is in charge of implementing ESAs in Texas. That would be the Texas Comptroller. Now, think of the Comptroller as the state's accountant and treasurer all rolled into one. The Comptroller's office is to manage Texas money and make sure funds are used properly, and that includes ESA funds. So right now, organizations from across the state, including us, are in ongoing conversation with the Comptroller's office. We're basically working to make sure homeschoolers are a part of the conversation as this ESA program develops. Now, there are some other businesses and organizations currently in conversation with the Texas Comptroller's office that are hoping to become certified educational assistance organizations. Now, that's a mouthful. So let's just call them EAOs. EAOs will play a big role in helping families and service providers navigate and use ESA funds effectively. Now, let me explain what an EAO is by breaking it down like this. Right now, it looks like there may be two kinds of EAOs working with the Comptroller's office. One type of EAO will help families apply for and participate in the ESA program. Whoever participates in the program will be a program participant. That is you. Now, the other EAO will assist vendors and service providers in applying for and participating in the ESA program, helping them deliver their services and products to families. Okay, so did you catch that? A certified educational assistance organization, or EAO, will work in tandem with the Comptroller's office to be sure the applications for families and the applications for vendors and service providers are effective. Okay, now that we know what EAOs are, let me explain the difference between a vendor and a service provider. Education service providers include schools, private schools, public or charter schools, and higher education schools, tutors, therapists, and teaching services. A vendor of educational products, on the other hand, will provide tangible goods such as textbooks, uniforms, assessment instruments, curriculum, software, hardware, or meals, okay? So here's something you should know though. Only vendors registered to do business in Texas can register and get approved to be a part of the ESA program. It says that in the actual bill language of SB 2. Okay, now we've talked about what an ESA is and how it's different from a voucher. We've covered what an EAO is. We've talked about the difference between a vendor and a service provider. Now let's talk about how a vendor or a service provider becomes approved by the EAO so that you as the program participant can make purchases from them. Let's say you have a child who, as a part of therapy, takes an art class. If you want to continue to have your child take the art class, please encourage the art teacher to apply with the Comptroller's office to be a service provider. Now, why does that even matter to you as a program participant? I'm glad you asked. Right now, it looks like when families use the ESA funds, they'll do so through a mechanism sort of like a Facebook marketplace. So here's what I mean. You as the parent, remember you're the program participant, you'll log into your account, browse through a list of approved vendors and service providers like curriculum publishers, tutors, or online courses. You pick what you need, and then the Comptroller's office through the EAO will pay the vendor directly. As the parent, you will never have to pay up front or seek reimbursement. That means you, as the ESA program participant, will never touch the money. There is no credit card. There is no debit card. The money goes directly from the comptroller's office to the vendor or the service provider. Okay, there is more to share, but we wanted to start off with this simple and hopefully digestible video about ESAs and what to expect beginning in the fall of this year. So as we wrap this up, you need to know this. Right now, the talk is the window for applications for program participants will open up as early as the fall of this year. Yes, 2025. The exact length of the initial application period is still under consideration, but the ESA program is set to launch fall 2026. All right, so let's quickly do a recap. We talked about what ESAs are, how they're different from vouchers, and how they'll work for homeschool families. The Texas Comptroller is running the program, and there's a possibility that 2 types of EAOs will help. One for families and one for vendors and providers. Both need to register with the EAO to be approved. Families will use a simple online portal like a marketplace to choose what they need. The state pays the vendor directly. Families never handle the money. All right, hope you got all of that. So here at THSC, we plan to keep you updated on when the application opens, what it looks like, and how to make the process simple for your family. Our goal is to make sure homeschoolers are prepared, but we also know how important it is to protect homeschool independence, and that's why we are staying closely involved every step of the way. We'll keep you updated as the program continues to take shape, and when it's time to take action, we'll let you know. So to stay in the loop, visit THSC, particularly our school choice page, which is in the link in this email. Additionally, if you want to know more about the history of ESAs in Texas, how they passed, when they passed, or even read the actual bill itself, please visit our website, specifically our school choice page. All right, thanks for watching, and thank you for all you do to build strong, thriving homeschool families right here in Texas.